This is the B3RN
and B3RN HD1 Los Angeles,
the B3 Radio Network. In a world where car companies are numbered in the hundreds, Chevrolet, Pontiac, Mitsubishi, Kawasaki, GMC, Lotus, Toyota, Acura, BMW, Lexus, you need to know the facts, the latest information for everything about cars, trucks, motorcycles, and ATVs. This is Speed.
The Chevrolet Volt is back on track. The new Viper, it's here. And the New York Auto Show Roundup. All these stories and more on this episode of Speed, only on the B3 Radio Network, Southern California's only internet talk station. I am your host, Brian Bombarios, along with my co-host and board operator behind those boards, running the whole show, Boontarn MacGyver Horn.
Hello.
Don't forget, you can call us anytime you want. Maybe you can catch us in the studio, or you can leave us a voicemail at 626-532-7154. That's 626-532-7154. Or you can always email us at speedradio b3@yahoo.com, or check us out online at our website at b3radionetwork.webs.com, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, Twitter, and blip.tv. And so I was mentioning that the New York Auto Show, finally all over. Great stories of good collections of cars and stuff all around. But let's start off with what I think is an important story here, is that the Chevrolet Volt, which I did mention a few weeks ago, was put on hiatus due to low sales. It's back, up and running again. Now, here's the good news for that, is that the temporary laid-off workers that were laid off due to the cut, and that was 1,300 workers,
That's
are
a
now
lot.
back up into the working class. And
I thought it was going to be postponed till later, though.
Yeah, the original plan was that on March 19th, due to low demand, 1,300 employees at General Motors Volt factory were going to be temporarily laid off for 5 weeks, and that would have resumed on April 23rd. But a local newspaper in Detroit is now reporting that they will go back on April 16th due to the increase of Volt demands. And the main thing I have to say is probably what increased because it was low sales in February that caused the Volt to go into a temporary hiatus. And you want to know what the numbers were for February? They only sold 1,000 Volts. Compared to March.
And that's a rounding number, right? That's estimate number?
Yeah. Well, I had the actual number, but it's pretty much 1,000 Volts that they had rolling off the assembly line and were sold at dealerships, only 1,000.
And nationwide, right?
From coast to coast in the United States.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's
when
not...
a car only gets 1,000?
That's not good numbers.
No.
And also, General Motors really wants this car to sell very well. This isn't just something that they're test marketing or anything. This is a car that they want to be up there like on the top selling cars. This is what their goal is. Actually, from last year, they pretty much doubled what their projected sales. And this isn't a good way to start off the year for that. It was some ridiculous number too. It was like I want to say I can't even remember the number. I don't want to give out a number that I'm not 100% certain of. But it was when the Volt launched a year and a half ago. They had a number to get out there. They missed it by a touch. And then by the end of last year, they said, okay, by the end of 2012, we want to sell double of what we projected. But they didn't even make their first prediction yet.
I think they're
a little high.
I think they're too full of themselves.
Yeah, but for February, they did sell 1,000 Volts. But in March, they were able to sell 2,200 Volts. More than double its portfolio profit right there. And that might be due to a story that I did bring up a couple of weeks ago, is that in the rise of demand might be in part to that low emissions package that's only for the California equipped Volts. So Volts that are sold in California only, they have a special emissions package that makes them eligible to go on the carpool lane.
And I think California is I think all of California does the most driving out of the whole U.S. If you think about it, I think everybody drives more over here than they do everywhere else.
Well, I will say that in Los Angeles, it's pretty much you need a car.
Exactly.
Public transportation is a joke out here in the West.
Well, it can only do so much.
Yeah, but it is a joke. I mean, it takes you forever to get to from point A to point B out here. And having a car is more or less a necessity rather than an accessory out here.
Hey, and if it's a free carpool drive, might as well.
Yeah, but also the sticker means that the car is qualified for as long as the car is able to drive on its own two wheels.
See, I was always confused about that. But so if it's... Wait, you said 2 wheels.
Oh, sorry, I mean a motorcycle. No. 4 wheels, 3 wheels. Maybe it's that weird car from the Mr. Bean show. Who knows? It's that weird blue car with that one steering wheel in the front.
So pretty much, as long as the car is able to drive, you can drive in the carpool lane.
I mean, who's to say you have a Chevy Volt with a little tiny, what's the engine? I think it's a 1.4 liter generator engine in there. I mean, what if you just happen to take out the battery, happen to take out that little tiny putt engine and put in a big Chevy V8 big block from like a 70 CK truck?
Oh, yeah, that's not suspicious. Not suspicious at all.
Yeah, I know. It's the only Volt with like a hood scoop on the top, right?
It's the only Volt that makes a sound.
Yeah, actually, you do have a point. And somehow it's rear-wheel drive.
Oh, yeah. Wait, this is the front wheel?
Yeah, I think. Well, the funny thing is that with the Volt, all the wheels are powered. It's sort of like an all-wheel drive because remember each motor. There's a motor on each wheel,
Yeah.
so technically it's an all-wheel drive, but they don't qualify as that because it's all electric. So weird story. But anyway, good news that 1,300 employees will be back on the workforce for General Motors on the Volt.
I just got another comment. It's the only Volt that can burn out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Going uphill.
Yes.
Yeah. And other news from the Detroit was the beginning of the year. I should say the New York Auto Show is the 2013 Dodge Srt Viper. Yum, yum. Now, I will say I am a big fan of the Viper. I do like the Viper, but looking at the new pictures of the new Viper, which I will show you in a second, I think it took a turn for the worst.
Uh-oh.
I don't like it. It looks rice rockety to me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
And keep in mind, Dodge is an American car. This is an iconic.
They went import on a freaking American?
I don't like it. What's wrong with its head? What's wrong with the hood?
Well,
Now, there are certain styling features that are notorious to Dodge. Dodge's grille has the quarter split grill, so they have 4 sections in their grill, if you ever noticed that. Like Chevy has a solid line going through their grill. Pontiac used to have the split grills, sort of like BMW did at one point. Oh, no, actually they do. They've been doing that for years. But here's a picture of the old Viper, and if you want to see the pictures, you can always visit b3radionetwork.webs.com, and right there on the show notes where all the pictures are.
You're probably going to hate me for saying this, but I think it's okay. Only thing is, though, I'd change out the hood. Like, I'd get like pretty much an aftermarket.
Yeah, I would get a flat hood. I don't like how these inverted hood scoops are on. The early Firebirds in the 90s, I think the 94 Pontiac Trans Am had inverted hood scoops. Wait, what's the point?
The hood scoops, is it, when you say inverted, it's not the one where it's going with the car, right? It's going against it, right?
Yeah. See, if you look at it,
pretty much the dip is the dip first, and then the scoop.
Yeah. Then it
goes
swoosh.
Yeah.
Where you would think a hood scoop like the Mustang, that has from the. No, I have a little model car. I'm trying to show you the car. It's the New Edge Ford Mustang, and it has a hood scoop that's forward. So there's a scoop and then the actual vent for the air to get into the hood. That's a regular hood scoop.
But this one is going like this way, right? Where it's a dip first and then it goes with the hood.
Yeah, that's a normal one. But the Viper does it scoop, the vent then the scoop, and I don't like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. I think it's a pretty nice one. The only thing is, though, I would swap out that hood.
No, I think that the body styling on the Viper looks nice. It is a nice looking car.
Hood, yeah. The hood.
I think it's the hood and more or less the headlamps. I don't like too much.
The headlamps I'm okay with, but not entirely my favorite.
I do love the back end of the Viper. It sort of reminisces. There's a picture of the old Viper and the new one. You can totally tell now it's switched out to LED. It has a higher raised backing, probably due to federal laws. If you notice that the window lines on your cars, they get higher and higher every year because of crash test ratings and stuff. That you have to build a car a certain way, and the car ends up suffering or succeeding, whatever your viewpoint is in styling because of that. But the more important thing, besides the crash test rating, because you don't really buy a Viper because it's a 5-star crash test rated vehicle, right? You buy it because of its available 640 horsepower, which as a result will be. I wouldn't be surprised if that qualifies for a gas guzzler tax. There is no EPA mileage yet, but I wouldn't be surprised that this thing's a gas guzzler.
I wouldn't be surprised.
From the bowels of hell, just sucking the fuel out of that thing.
Well, they wouldn't call it a supercar for nothing.
No, that is true. But it does have side exhaust pipes. It will have a double bubble roof. I guess if you look at if you look at the roof, it bubbles a bit.
I guess more aerodynamic.
Maybe that, or maybe headroom.
Probably. I wouldn't. That's probably more towards that.
Yeah, that. But I will probably say what you said. I was going through for more comfort, but it probably does have something to do with aerodynamics. So maybe keeping the force of the grounded.
That's probably why they did that whole entire thing. But I'd still swap out the hood.
Yeah, that's the first, which is probably not one of the first things you want to do when you buy a Viper. But but that's pretty much the key features. I mean, the Viper has been around since 1996, making it. When it was debuted, it was the only muscle car in the U.S. with a V10, and it still is the only muscle car in the U.S. with a V10. Very nice to see, though. But the Viper, you can go ahead and check it out for yourself at b3radionetwork.webs.com.
Put a V12 in there.
Yeah, from an Aston Martin.
Oh.
Swap that out.
Nice.
And I think the Viper does get a 6-speed I
was like, no, automatic. No.
It gets a manual transmission. With a dual clutch. Yes. And it's only available in a manual.
Yeah. Epic win.
No automatic, unlike Porsche.
Oh.
That's a different story. But when we come back, we will have a total roundup of all the great cars and all the great stories from the New York Auto Show.
I give a toast to Porsche.
How dare you. We'll be right back. We're going to take a break. This is Speed, only on the B3.
In sorrow.
This is Speed, only on the B3 Radio Network, Southern California's only internet talk station. Welcome back to Speed, only on the B3 Radio Network, Southern California's only internet talk station. And we have all the cool stuff from the New York Auto Show as all the automakers go to the Big Apple, that's right, New York. And there were some really cool cars that were there listed at the New York Auto Show, and there was a couple I wanted to bring up. The 2013 Mercedes-Benz Sl65 Amg. Now, if you're not a fan of the body styling, what do you give? Because you're the Mercedes guy. You own a Mercedes. What do you think about the body styling on this one?
Well, I got to see like the size, but it's not entirely that bad. But the only thing that bugs me, that I find unfortunate, is that the emblem is now embedded into the grille.
It is in the grille.
Huh? Yeah, I know, but I'm saying though how they changed it from where it used to be, from like the one little one on that sticks out. The big old symbol.
Well, that's
Oh no, I know.
That's an old, outdated thing that no one's going to do anymore.
I know. But it's not bad though. It's not bad.
Yeah, I do like its aggressive front end, and this is what really kicks it up for me. The 2013 Mercedes-Benz Sl65 AMG has a V12 powered SL. It's a V12.
It would be a Mercedes. Mercedes would have an overpowered engine for it.
With now boasting 621 horsepower with 738 foot-pounds of torque on that car. And this is what, a two-seater? It looks like a two-seater.
It's a two-seater.
And a 7. Now this is what bugs the hell out of me. It's a 7-speed. Great. It's a 7-speed. That's a pretty good amount of gears, but automatic transmission. With 621 horsepower with a V12, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, then again, America is getting kind of lazy with stick shift.
Yeah, that's sad though. But it does have great, unique aerodynamics and exterior features.
It's probably not a full automatic. It's probably one of those electronic. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
the Tiptronic, whatever.
Yeah, the Tiptronics or the continuous variable timing transmissions. Or I know what you mean, or the shift gate paddles and all that. Yeah. But as so far as it states, is a regular 7-speed automatic transmission. Usually, when they label it, when it is one of the KTPs or one of those type of they usually put that somewhere because that's supposedly a marketing selling point that you want to tell your consumer. But why would you not make this available in a manual? Would it make that much of a a hurt. At least have it as a, because here's the thing with what I think is that if you're going to buy this car, you're not really going to go to the dealership and just go, I want that one. You're probably going to order it, right? I mean, that's what I would do. If you're already going to spend that amount of money, you might as well just order and go, I want this color interior, I want this exterior, I want that radio. Wouldn't you? I mean, with this kind of a price point, I can understand you.
What is the price exactly?
I don't think it states. These are new cars that were just at the auto show, so not really any specs beyond horsepower and torque.
I'm probably I'm just gonna put an estimate, but I'm guessing about $200,000.
I was just going to be modest and be kind and say, well over 100,000. But if you want to go that far, you can go ahead and do that. Another car that was at the New York Auto Show was the 2012 Mercedes. No, sorry, not the Mercedes. Sorry, I'm going to choke on my own water here. I was going to say that the Fisker Atlantic prototype is another great car. Fisker is a car company that I believe is European, I want to say. I'm not exactly sure, but they've had a niche market in making very fast cars. They're sort of like the underdog Lamborghini, if you will. They're a really good sports company, but for whatever reason that you just don't, you don't
hear about them at all.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It could be because of the way its styling is. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the styling.
No.
I always thought that the front end, this car, doesn't it look like a mustache? The girls look like a mustache on this car. But
then again, it is from Europe.
Oh, yeah, that is. Okay. All it needs is a monocle.
Oh, yes, yes.
But the Fisker vehicle is a project vehicle from the joint Fisker lineup. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I think there was a merger between two companies and stuff, and Fisker got bought off by somebody else. There's always this buying off from other.
Watch ends up being bought off by VW.
God, no. But the other thing is that this is called the Fisker Karma. It's based off of the Karma, said to be roughly the size about what you would give an Audi A5, about that kind of a size. This is that size of the vehicle.
It's not that.
And it packs a similar range, and it is an extended EV drivetrain, so it's an electric vehicle.
Oh, wow.
I think, and as far as I know, I'm not very Fisker knowledgeable, but I think that's all Fisker does is EVs.
Really?
I think that's all they do, but they do electric vehicles or hybrids, something like that, but they're sports oriented. They're expensive, like Lamborghini. Like if Lamborghini or Ferrari did electric vehicles, I think that's what Fisker is capitalizing. I know Tesla is doing that to the max, and they're actually doing very well at it, but I think Fisker either was created as that kind of a brand or either is augmenting toward that kind of a brand.
Interesting.
But it was just a cool, notable little thing to see. And there are some great sedans, I will say, for the more common
I was looking because I was going to say, I see sedans at the bottom of that screen. Don't tell me there's brand new ones that...
Yeah, now the last two, the Mercedes and the Fisker, were just the high-end ones. The ones that maybe some people might wish they can own one day or whatever. The goal cars when you're a millionaire. These are more of the commoner cars, I always call them. And the first one on the list, which actually looks a lot better than what it used to, is the Acura Rlx Concept. Now, this is like the Cross Tour, which is a vehicle I believe that's already in the lineup for Acura. And it's close to production form. This is what it will look like. And again, if you want to see the pictures, go to b3radionetwork.webs.com. It will be packing a 3.5-liter V6 engine with Acura's new hybrid SH all-wheel drive electric wheel motor system, combined with an output of, get this, with that little V6 engine in it. Well, I use little modestly because it can pack 370 horsepower out of a V6.
Oh, wow. Not bad.
Yeah, it's probably due to with that little hybrid system of using electric motors. It probably gives the torque and the horsepower a boost with the engine, so it'll help that pick up at at start stops and stuff like that. One car that I am very, very excited for. It hasn't changed its body styling I think since 2003, and it's been in production since then.
Really?
Minor revisions have been done to the interior, a couple little things to the exterior, but pretty much they've been just pumping out the same car, and now it looks total badass. It is a 2014 Chevrolet Impala, which totally looks a lot of styling cues from the new Malibu and especially the Camaro.
I was going to say, it looks like a...
Yeah, it looks like a four-door Camaro.
Yeah.
But it has bigger lines. GM is finally giving the Chevrolet Impala, which, by the way, the Impala is a well-known, long-time brand. That vehicle has been out, I believe, since the 50s or the 60s. Forgive me for not knowing the exact year, but I mean, that car, the nameplate has been around since then. For a while, I know they didn't make it. They discontinued it, but then they brought it back. I think they did that 2 or 3 times already. They brought it back in the 90s, just like when Ford brought back the Thunderbird. That was sort of the competition vehicle at the time. So when GM brought back the Impala, Ford brought back the Thunderbird. Thunderbird died, and Impala just kept going on, like GM always does and beats Ford. But the styling features are more refined. The interior is much more elegant. It will use new options of the OnStar system, the infotainment system, CD, all that good stuff. And it will... This is a car that I think it looks so nice, and I think it has so much potential to kick its rivals' butts in this price range.
I just want to make a little side comment about what you said earlier about beating a Ford. Well, it is a Ford. Hello.
Yeah, I know. I guess the benchmark isn't that high, right?
No.
I mean, probably Fiat. Well, maybe Fiat could tie with it. I don't know.
I think, yeah.
Then there is also the Lexus ES, which is a 2013 model, and like the Camry on which it is based, it is a new vehicle. And I gotta say, the new front end for the Lexus is better. I'm not saying it's good looking, but it's better than what they've had for the last 10 years. Lexuses have looked hideous, especially with their SUVs. They looked awful in the last 10 years. They just have not had a good styling Lexus. And I gotta say that the front end on this vehicle looks so much better.
Not bad.
And then there's the Toyota Avalon, which I just got a new revision. Now, I'm not a big fan of that new front end. I think it looks pretty tacky.
Especially that smiley face at the bottom.
Yeah, doesn't it look like the Aston Martin? Remember the Ford, what was that one Ford that had that Aston Martin look to it? Was it the Focus or was it the Fusion?
I think it was the Fusion.
Yeah. That also had that similar going. I don't know what the car companies are doing now with that, but, I mean, it just doesn't look that nice.
A lot of companies going downhill nowadays, though.
With certain stylings, yeah. I mean, Toyota can still sell cars.
Yeah, but talking about style-wise, a lot of companies going downhill, man.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, certain cars have been hitting it. Like I just said, the Impala, it looks nice. But you know me, I'm a big Chevy fanboy here, so I'm just tooting my own horn.
Yeah.
But it is a great looking vehicle. I'm glad to see that the Impala finally looks like a mean vehicle.
They went a lot towards the Camaro, though.
Yeah,
it really did.
Literally, it looks like a 4-door Camaro, which is great to see. Well, I'm Brian Bombarius, and behind the boards, Boontar and MacGyver Horn. Yep. And don't forget to check out the website at b3radionetwork.webs.com or email us at speedradiob3@yahoo.com. This is Speed, only on the B3 Radio Network, Southern California's internet talk station.